It's Friday, March 13th, just a few hours after Donald Trump has declared a state of national emergency regarding COVID-19, the coronavirus. And I'd like to share with you um, one of the things that I've been doing for decades to help keep me healthy. I believe in the last 2 decades, I have never missed a day of work due to illness, and I attribute a lot of that good health to um, one thing in particular that I've been doing since about 1983, and that is keeping my intake of vitamin C fairly steady, as opposed to spikes when I get sick, and reducing my intake on times when I'm not under stress so much. In general, I tend to keep my vitamin C very steady, and I think that has been very beneficial for my health. And it's super simple. It's a matter of eating half an orange or half a grapefruit in the morning, and then the other half at night. So earlier this morning, I ate the other half of this grapefruit, and right now I'm about to eat this half. And it's very simple. You know, I put it in this bowl like this so that it's on a flat surface, so that for the roughly 12 hours that it's not being eaten, air doesn't get at the cut open side of the grapefruit. It's kind of just like the peel seals the goodness away from the elements like air or flying insects. The flat part of the plate helps provide a seal against. It's not as good of a seal as the skin, the intact skin of the fruit, but it's still a better seal than if I had left it like this in the bowl. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut that and eat that. And then roughly a half hour later, I'll have my dinner. Super simple. Either half an orange or half a grapefruit, once in the morning, once at night. That's basically it. Now, roughly 15 minutes from now, I'll probably drink a glass of water. That goes all the way back to the high school chemistry teacher, Mr. Mike Winters, who basically taught our class about how it's very important to keep your intake of vitamin C level. You don't want to spike. You know, if you wanted to eat an extra half an orange or an extra half a grapefruit on days that you get sick, that might be a little bit beneficial. That's actually something that I do tend to do. But in terms of taking mega doses of vitamin C, I'd have to disagree with people who subscribe to that methodology. And again, 2 decades, I don't think I've ever had to call in sick. Um, Take it for what it's worth. But I subscribe, or I believe that a lot of my good health history has to do with the recommendation that my high school chemistry teacher made to our class. Phenomenal high school teacher, phenomenal chemistry teacher, phenomenal results in following his prescription or his recommendation. I try to keep my intake of vitamin C very level, half a grapefruit or half an orange in the morning. Then I store it nicely until the nighttime. I store the other half nicely until the nighttime, and then I eat that other half. Now, with the virus, the COVID-19 virus or the coronavirus, there is this concern that, or at least I have a concern, that there could be a disruption to our distribution of food, so that I may not be able to get hold of fresh fruit like oranges or grapefruits a week or 2 or a month from now. So something else that I did today is I bought some frozen fruit that also has vitamin C, just like oranges or grapefruit has. I went to Dollar Tree and I picked up frozen little 10-ounce bags of frozen mangoes and little 10-ounce bags of frozen peaches. And then I went to another grocery store and I picked up, I think it's a 10-ounce bag of frozen strawberries. Now, when I was at Dollar Tree, I had planned on picking up strawberries, but when I looked at the back of the package, it said that it was not a significant source of vitamin C. So there's probably something different about the strawberries at, or at least the strawberries that I looked at Dollar Tree, might be different from the strawberries that I picked up at the other grocery store, which said that a serving of the strawberries would provide about 70% of the daily U.S. recommendation for vitamin C. So what I'm getting at here is there are things that you can do to help guard against potential problems that might happen regarding our food supply of fresh fruits. You know, you can buy frozen fruits. Certain fruits are going to have vitamin C. And the ones that I found at Dollar Tree that say that they have vitamin C are the frozen peaches, the frozen mango, and the strawberries did not say that they had vitamin C, which was a surprise to me because usually strawberries do have vitamin C. But when I went to another grocery store and I looked at their frozen strawberries, on the back of the package it said that one serving would provide 70%, so I bought a package of frozen strawberries from that grocery store. All I'm saying is it's worthwhile to look at the back of the package to make sure that the fruits that you think are likely to have vitamin C have been tested as providing vitamin C when you're ready to consume them as an alternative to the fresh fruits like the oranges or the grapefruit. I think that's going to be a big help. Another thing that I'm doing, I work in retail, and that means that I come into contact with a lot of people, and the COVID-19 virus has already been found in the neighborhood, or in the at least in the county that I live in. And it's got, I believe, a 2-week incubation period from the time that you come in contact with it to the time that people show symptoms. I believe can be about a 2-week period, which means since somebody in our neighborhood has already been, or in our county has already been tested positive, that means that it's been in this area for at least 2 weeks. And I've been coming into contact with a great deal of people working in retail, as I do. So there's a good chance that I've already made contact with the virus myself, or if I haven't, there's a good likelihood that I will eventually make contact. So another thing that I'm doing is as soon as I get home, or I should say as soon as I get home, I'm very likely to wash my hands with soap and water for a good minute or two. The recommendation is 40 seconds, but I tend to go a little overboard sometimes. So I do about a minute or two of washing my hands. And then, in general, without sitting down on anything, within a half hour or so, it's very likely that I will take a complete shower and soap up in the effort to wash off any COVID-19 virus that may have landed on me from people in the store coughing or sneezing in my proximity. If the virus landed on my arm, or if it landed on my hair, wherever it landed, I would like to get that virus washed off of me as soon as I can before I sit down on any furniture within my home, to help minimize the likelihood that virus is going to find its way into either my ear or my eyes or my nose or my mouth, to where it can start doing its dirty work. So the two main things that I'm doing to help prevent myself from getting ill is to make sure that I'm keeping my vitamin C intake level, and showering almost as soon as I get home. Washing my hands as soon as I get home. In fact, today when I was at the grocery store, one thing that I did is before I even left the grocery store, I washed my hands at the grocery store because somebody had coughed, and I could feel his breath on the wrist of my hand. There was a very long line at the grocery store. Again, this is the day that President Trump has declared a national emergency. Our schools in the state of Illinois are closed for 2 weeks now. So people are taking this seriously, and that led to very long lines at the grocery store. And I know that somebody who had a cough again being a symptom of the COVID virus, and also being a symptom of just a common cold too, but his cough landed on my wrist. And so before I even left the store, I was sure to wash my hands and my wrists at the store. And then I drove home. When I got home, I loaded everything into the freezer or refrigerator or cabinets as was appropriate, and then washed my hands, and then went ahead and took a complete shower, put the clothes that I had been wearing up away from the rest of the furniture, so that the likelihood of COVID-19 or coronavirus making it from those clothes into the rest of my home is as minimal as I can make it. But again, let's recapture what it is that I'm trying to say here. I feel it's extremely beneficial to keep your vitamin C intake level, and in general, 1 orange per day or 1 grapefruit per day is considered the recommended dosage. And I'm fairly certain that the best way, beyond fairly certain, I think time has proven that the best way to ingest that orange or grapefruit is to cut it in half, have half of it in the morning, have the other half at night. That will, I believe, be tremendously beneficial for most immune systems. And if you're a doctor, if I'm not a doctor, but if you are a doctor and you agree with or disagree with what I'm saying here, feel free to put it in the comments. But you gotta know that if you're gonna say that you disagree with me, chances are I'm gonna win. Not just because it's my comments and I'm in control of those comments, but because I feel I can defend what I'm saying here. So chances are you want to think twice about contradicting what I'm saying unless you really, really, really have proof that you can stand behind. Because chances are when we discuss back and forth, it's unlikely I'm going to lose that debate. All right, that's it. Have a good evening.